Love laughs at a king. Kings don't mean a thing on the street of dreams.
I grew up in Brooklyn. We were fortunate in that my father, even during the Depression, was able to make a living. He had a candy store. He worked long hours. I didn't see him in the morning, I didn't see him at night. He would go to the little candy stores. He was a wholesaler, and he'd sell them candy and all kinds of stuff. But he worked long hours, and he was able to provide for us so that we weren't like many without work and having to depend on the government for our support. But I think it left an indelible impression on us because we saw people who were out of work for years. You were going nowhere until Roosevelt came in. But what really rescued us was the war. Once we had to fight, we had jobs.
It was a very funny story. My family moved into number 8, and another family moved into number 10. And the number 10 family had a daughter who was about 14 years old, and I was 17. But I didn't pay any attention to her because she was jailbait as far as I was concerned. And I went into the service, and I wrote to her family because my mother was very friendly with her mother, and she responded to my letter. We kept it going up and back like that until we fell in love.
They tell us, number one, be careful because they are spies, number one, which they were. In New York City, Manhattan, there must have been 500,000 Germans living. They are called sleepers. We take them as sleepers. They don't say nothing, but they watch what you do, and they pick up information, they put it together. But they are well organized. You wasn't born then. I did a lot of jobs, you name it. I did everything you can think to make a living. At 13 years old, I was a paint contractor. I took a contract to paint. My first enterprise was the 3 White Kings. I got $12 for that. At the time of the Depression, and they set us up, and they used to sell you a hamburger with French fries, a cup of coffee for 5 cents. The ladies don't want me. They wanted money. I said, I got no money. So they walk away from me. So I didn't bother with them.
Well, right now, my typical day is get up and get dressed and have breakfast. And then get ready for lunch and get ready for dinner. Big events in your life when you become 80 years old are your breakfast, lunch, and dinner. We're no longer chasing around for stories. Actually, I still do. Oh, sure. You will always write. You're never going to stop writing.
I'm legally blind. Legally blind, 95, and still practicing. All I know is that I'm just so grateful to have a brain, to be able to keep thinking and to keep growing. And now, as we're living longer, I will be 95 on Wednesday. What a gift! A fantastic gift, you know, to give us all that extra time that we can do what we haven't done before.
The war was coming on, and I became a USO hostess. You know what that means? During the war, there were volunteers. The girls in the United States became hostesses for Army boys. We were volunteers that would serve
as hostesses to entertain them. We played cards with them and played Scrabble, and we had dinner with them. And I was a hostess at Temple Emmanuel on Fifth Avenue. And they picked me because I spoke French, believe it or not.
The only claim to fame is that there were no women in the bullpens, and after that, most of the men remained as just board men. But I became an assistant art director, and then I became an art director. The first woman to become an art director, a major advertising agency.
My husband, after he had his first heart attack, he went to college, and he used to work on the newspaper. And when my son was 7 years old, he used to take him into the photo lab, develop pictures with him. Now my son is a amateur photographer whose photos have been shown all over the world, and he's published a book of photographs and gives his father credit for teaching him. So, and he's a wonderful father.
Scrabble, my favorite game. And I can play on my iPad now. I play with 3 grandchildren. I have 3 games going at once. They beat me every time. I want to beat them. They're all computer geniuses, and I'm not. They beat me at Scrabble too, which I've played for many years.
Love was grand when love was
Things were pretty rough, and I was living in housing, special housing, with my family, because they weren't able to work, and I was going to school, but there was something in the newspaper in June of '42. The government had a special job for all science students in the New York City colleges. The job was called the Junior Engineering Aide, and it offered $2,500 a year, which is about $50 a week. And that was tremendous at that time. They were starting a school. They were going to teach us how to build and maintain radar stations.
Well, it's independent living. It's not a nursing. You know, everybody has that misconception. I have no aides. I have no assistants or whatever. If I wanted to walk out the front door right now, no one's going to stop me. Still crazy after all these years.
Kings don't mean a thing on the street of dreams.